Okay, I'm recording. So 7 districts remaining to get connected. 4 of them were Sycamores. So we excuse them, but some of them are actually pushing forward on trying to get their data going this year anyway. So that is good. For the other 3, I've been in contact with the ESUs, so we know who those are, and we are working with them. Going down to our usual topics, work days. There are still some work days going on through the end of this month for advisor. Please check the calendar to see if there is one in your area that you're not already aware of. Hopefully you will have heard if there is one. Once we hit May and June, we will be doing NSSRS work days again. So, the advisor work days will be done for this year pretty much. Next year in the fall, the work days will all be advisor or a mix. So, please check the calendar and join those if you can. The main thing I want to talk about today is the data conference. Presumably everyone here went, I hope. If not, there are some PDFs of slides we can get you that would be helpful. And maybe we should take some of those and post them on our Google site as well. Okay. So we may do that. Does anyone have any feedback? How was the conference? What did you like? Were you surprised by something you heard? Worried about something you heard? Do you have more questions about anything you heard? You can unmute yourself and talk, or put something in the chat window.
That's the first.
Everyone was heard exactly what they wanted to hear then, I guess. Yes, Ellie, so are we. We were not really in control of the AQuest conferences, but we'll, I guess I don't know exactly what the topic is for next year's conference yet, but I'm sure we'll be having one. Kim is thrilled to see the SRS getting ready, as am I. I didn't get to go to I was doing sessions all day myself, so I didn't get to go to any others. Would have liked to have seen the SRS session and learn a little bit more about it, but they are in the final stages of getting everything ready, and they're working through this process where we are going to get the district signed up, and then basically I create an extra key for every district that SRS will use, but the districts don't have to install that. That's something that I will work with ESU CCA directly.
From what I've heard on the SRS presentations, everything was positive, and they're ready to go. So I think it's an exciting time for SRS to start joining in.
Sandy is asking about having tracks indicated. That's a good idea. I would also encourage everyone, I believe, should have received that survey in their email. Mine went to my spam filter, by the way, so check that. Since last evening or this morning, I got that email that goes to a survey about the conference. That would be our main place to collect some of that survey feedback. I would encourage everyone here to fill that out. Sarah said she couldn't attend. We will have a recording of the main session in the plenary session in the main room. That session was really a kind of a highlight of, we kind of talked about all the main areas in Advisor, what's staying the same, what's new, what's coming up, hit some of the broad areas. I talked about the upcoming timeline for the next 2 years. So that one actually is recorded, and we will be posting that on our website, one of our websites. So you will hear more about that in the future.
We'll probably put a link to that in the bulletin this week.
Yeah.
On where you can find those recordings.
Okay. For a lot of the individual sessions, those weren't recorded, but we hope to gather the PDFs of the slides for all of them. So that can be helpful as well. Those PDFs are available in the guidebook, but we may also collect them into some place. At least the Advisor ones, collect them into our Google site probably. So maybe by around the end of this week, we will get that all organized. And yeah, we'll mention it in the bulletin. Elise said it's nice to hear more detail and regarding CTE and seeing the dashboard. So I guess Elise probably went to Tina's dashboard session, I'm guessing. I would have liked to have gone to that one also. And yeah, we had Katie put on a CTE session. That's good. Yeah, I'm happy that you come to these monthly meetings. Of course, not every district comes to here. Kim wants us, I think, yeah, okay, yeah. You meant the concentrator, Kim?
I meant a concentrator, not completer, sorry. Most of our program was really geared toward post-graduation things that would have been better for counselors or administrators. And at the end, there was just a little bit about the data piece, and it was very frustrating because it was nothing that was going to pull, because they don't want to make a decision between one program and another if a child has multiple concentrator tags. Well, neither do the schools. And I think people left feeling very frustrated, I believe, because nobody wants to make that decision, but they want the data to be able to pull. And it could, if there were a way to filter that or make that decision electronically or somehow. And
if it's something where we need a change in the rules, maybe to be able to make it clear what someone is concentrating in, or make it clear how we choose between multiple areas, or.
Yeah, and I mean, there just really wasn't an answer to that. It was that they didn't want to do it and we had to, and the schools didn't feel like we want to do it either. We just feel like that ought to pull from transcripted data, and we shouldn't have to enter all the program fact information. So I don't know, I kind of walked out of that one shaking my head thinking, I was hoping there would be a better way.
I mean, yeah, we don't, I guess the problem is, I'm worried, do districts, if we come up with some rule that says, we sort it alphabetically and pick that, and that's your concentration, are some districts going to have a problem with that, where they would prefer to choose? Maybe we need a hybrid system or something.
Well, and I get that, because if you choose one program over another and you don't turn in concentrators for that program, then you're not supposed to use the Perkins money for that program the following year. So I get all of that, but let us turn in multiple concentrators. I know the feds only want one, but what's the big deal if we turn in more? If I turn in multiple concentrators, I don't get an error, I only get a warning. I can live with that. So what happens when you guys turn them into the feds with multiple concentrators?
I think we narrow it down to one before we turn it into the feds now. But yeah, I'm not sure if that's an option or what happened. So, I couldn't tell you about that one. I'd have to talk to Katie some more. We'd probably have to dig in to you know, I'm not even sure if we know if we can submit that to the feds or not. So, well, I will encourage us to continue to talk about it. You know, I meet with Katie regularly because I do a lot of the CPE data as well. So we will.
Awesome. Start a conversation on that, please.
I'm not sure if we will have anything in place for 1819 though. I will see. I guess the good thing is if we do want to calculate it, there's no new data you have to submit to us. So. And yeah, as far as I know, our rule about only having a single concentrator is, I think, based off of what we believe the feds want when we turn in our Perkins accountability data. I don't think at the state we have any particular reason to care about that. All right. Thanks for your feedback. Again, definitely, like you said, participate in our surveys. You like to hear data. You like to get data. Just a reminder, the non-reportable schools form is here. I mentioned that in my in our session about attendance, but there's no real. I don't expect anyone to write down this URL off of the board. So it's also in our Google site. Another just update with the advisor validation. We did another small deployment last week that had some bug fixes that some of you guys had reported, as well as now the comments are now available in the error details screen, which we had talked about in some of our sessions as well. So figure I'll just show you that real quick. It's pretty self-explanatory. I don't know if I can pick a good error detail that is going to show some student data that I shouldn't see. Here. Yeah, this one should be okay. I think. Hold on. Let me preview this real quick. Now Zoom's freezing. Anyway, when you look at the error details on the right side of all the error details screens, there'll be a box that says comments, a new field, and right next to that is another box that has an edit button inside of it. And you click the edit button, you get a little pop-up where you can type in a text. You have a text box to type in comments. Then you can hit update or hit cancel. So I can't sure if you can see what I'm sharing right now.
I'm kicked out.
Yay, Zoom. Anyway. Oh, wait, and there it goes. right, can you see the screen now? There's some data I have, but luckily these aren't the actual birth dates for these students. So here's what I was saying. There's this extra comments field. You'll see this automatically kind of inserted on every error detail. Here's your edit button. Put in your comment, you can hit update. That data will kind of persist there. The error system now actually kind of keeps track of the error, and when you fix it, we still maintain the record. So we can see that you fixed it. And then if the error ever comes back, like, you know, if you, for whatever reason, it comes up again with the same student, we'll actually bring that error back and the comment will still be attached to it. The other new feature we talked about archiving errors to hide them, that will be coming up in the next couple of months here. As well as we still have a lot of reports and error codes that we are going to be programming to add to the validation site in the near future as well. Vendor updates, nothing much new. I know PowerSchool and Campus have some fixes they're working on now, so there'll be some releases coming out in the next few weeks. SRS, like we had talked about, are getting that program ready to roll out, or getting the advisor piece ready for rollout to all the districts. Kim already answered the question there. I talked to all the other vendors who were there at the meeting, and we had a web meeting with GoEduStar. They couldn't make it, but I talked to JMC and EduPoint. Sorry, I guess I didn't talk to anyone from SIMS, but I talked to them all the time. So things seem to be working well there. I haven't heard any major issues that came out of the vendor status meetings. I tried to go to about 3 of them. So future meetings, we have one scheduled for May 16th. Then I think our thoughts, like usual, that June is a busy time for this group, so we probably won't have a meeting unless someone says they would really like one. Then we can go ahead and schedule it. That's fine with me. And definitely, I think we will continue some meeting like this next year, at least once a month. Maybe in the fall, if there's a lot going on, we could do 2 a month or every other week. So we will, schedule that probably around August. Any other questions? Any other topics someone would like to bring up? All right. I'll stay online for a minute, but otherwise, you're free to go. Thanks for joining us.